Hey Flosstube, it's Lori. I'm back with a quick catch up with me video. It's been a while since I've made a video. There's been a lot of life things going on lately. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on while I've been MIA. Let you see what I've been working on. Well, not actively working on, but what I have been working on and off the past few weeks. I've got a few new purchases and the startings of a new craft. Real quick life update. My dad has been diagnosed with cancer. It is liver and possibly colon. Many of us have been through similar situations, so right now I'm spending most all of my spare time rallying around my dad, as well as a lot of my family members. He's in great spirits. He's lost his energy, but otherwise, I mean, he's requiring there's always someone with him. So he's still able to get around. He's still able to do for himself for the most part. I don't know what the coming weeks will offer, because I've not really been through this before, but he has decided not to seek treatments because of course it's not curable, and in his words, he wants quality of life and not quantity of life. So with that being said, all my spare moments are spent with my dad when I'm not working, neglecting Clint a little bit, but he forgives me. So I've not been stitching. We've been in and out of the hospital, doctor's appointments, and just normal life things, working, that kind of thing. So not a lot of stitching. I guess I could take a small, but it seems like even when I take something, I'm pulling it out, not even getting a stitch or two before I have to put it back in to fill out a paper or go to the back. So I decided to pick up a different craft. But I'm just going to show you, because I'm kind of all over the place, so just kind of forgive me. I didn't really prepare. I just wanted to touch base with everybody. I've seen all the wonderful quilts and pieces that Michelle the Striped Rose, pot and kettle. We're always inspiring one another, it seems. But she's been doing a lot of blankets, crochet blankets. So I have only ever crocheted once, and it was a quilt type thing, and I believe, if I'm thinking back, it was probably a triple crochet, huge square. I just got yarn and I had no really formal teaching. I just saw someone stitching it and liked what I saw and mimicked the stitch that I saw when I got home, and never have picked up crochet again. So I'm familiar with some of the terminology. I know what a chain is. I know what a single crochet is. That's about it. So I went by Walmart one night. I decided I want to try this. I don't want to put a lot of money in it. I want to learn the basics. So I picked up this magazine because there were a couple of patterns in there that I thought I could use, and one of them was for a wash rag, kitchen rag. I'm calling it the wrong thing. What do they call it? But you get what I'm saying. A wash rag for your dishes. But this is double crochet, or crochet on the double, and it's using a double-ended crochet hook, which I could not find there. So I switched over and decided to do some holiday trivets. So I bought some cotton in 4 different colors, because you know, I do everything all in. I can't do anything half. So I bought the needle that I needed, and I bought these 2 colors because you're using 2 different threads to crochet as you're crocheting this. And I bought these 2 colors. Thinking I'd give them away as holiday gifts. I've got a couple of good friends that we exchange little small things at Christmas. And then I bought these 2 colors. This reminded me of Gingerbread House. And this is my progress. So I chained and unchained and chained and unchained and chained and unchained because I am finding it difficult. I'm stitching with 2 threads, and then that wasn't easy, even though this says it's a beginner piece, just not knowing how to read the instructions. So flash forward to last night, my sister and I had a couple of things to pick up for my dad. We're back at Walmart. We're on the aisle with the crafts, not buying the things that my dad needed, but on the craft aisle. And she used to crochet as well. So I'm doing it thinking that it's something that I can bring to her house. It's only a couple of balls and a pattern and a hook, and I can do that when my dad is napping. She's decided she wanted to do it, and so we picked up the inside. That's the name, dishcloths, not washcloths for dishes, dishcloths. So I picked up this little book, decided I wanted to do one of those. There's some really cool ones that look like the older doilies that I've picked up at the antique shops. Some with flowers in the center. There's one that looks like a piece of watermelon. You've got a rainbow granny square. It's showing that these, on a scale from 1 to 4, the easiness of this is supposed to be 2. No. I did get this much done last night when I got home from my sister's, which was pretty late. My dad is staying at my sister's. She has no children. She is a nurse by trade, and she is not married. And so my dad is there with her, and he's happy. I want him here with me, but I understand the necessity of being there with her. But this is as far as I got. I love this color. It's way more orange in this than it's showing. This is more of a peach, and this is showing bright Clemson orange, but I say go Gamecocks. But this is as far as I got, and then you had to stitch around the other stitches and do this, and then there's 5 loops on your needle, and you do this and this, and then the next. So my mom is there at my sister's now, and she does have some experience with doing crochet, so I'm hoping to take that down there, and she can help me make heads or tails of what I'm doing so that I can stitch myself a dishcloth. And I hope to have one for myself. Oh, did I show you my other colors? This is addictive. These things are only like $1.50 for a skein of these. And I love the colors, especially this salmon. And this is showing up as like a hot lipstick pink, but it's a salmon. I love it. I have been working on, sorry, I like to sit on my legs. And I've got on boots, so it's not feeling really good on my ankles. I have been working on Elizabeth mirrors. I started this on the 1st of this month to be stitched along with Michelle at the Stripe Rose and my friend out on the Pacific Northwest, Kindred Stitcher. And this is it. And this is the house of all houses, the house with 1,000 windows. And this is where I am. I love the colors. I love it so far. I'm stitching it on 40 count over 2. Just really love it. Just not getting enough time to stitch on it, and that, like I said, that's okay. Life sometimes gets in the way, and I'm just trying to put my priorities in order. This is the colors. I'm using DMCs. I just put them in on the thread rings. I did this early in the year. I did a quick tutorial video on doing these. Was inspired by Teresa Shakespeare's Peddler, Kitten Stitcher here on YouTube. And I love having my threads out like this to look at them and feel them as I'm stitching. And so all I do is take them off the skein and I stretch them out and fold them over 4 times, and then I put them on here and then put them on here in a little loop, and then I just pull one strand off every time I get ready to stitch, They never come off of these until I get ready to use them. I love this. I love being able to look at them. Yesterday was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I'm saying a lot. Anyway, I was to do a new start with my friend Laura Lake Richards, and we were going to start this piece that I purchased and downloaded on Creative Poppy's website, and this is The Fall by Barbara Anna. Did I start it? I started that crimson, I'm saying crimson, Clemson orange dishcloth, and I didn't get to this. I cannot find my threads. I had bought them, can't find them. They're here somewhere. I'll run across them. But I will try to at least put in a few stitches on that tonight, and I was going to use 40 count Ren to stitch that on. I'm very excited about that. Let me show it to you again. So I think it's a beautiful piece. You know, I bought this just at the $1 store, this little folder, because I printed this off on my printer downstairs when I downloaded it. And I had everything in it, but I don't know where I've dropped, at some point dropped those threads. There's not a lot. There's like maybe 10, at the most 15. But anyway, I just love it. I'm ready to get started on that. This is still my year of samplers, so it'll fit right in the theme. What I have picked up that I'm excited about is I have picked up Stacy Nash Primitives, the 12 Days of Christmas Sewing Roll. And, of course, just a few colors, basic Christmas colors. I love her finishing. I see the rick-rack there. Shouldn't take much to finish it up. It's something I could probably stitch in hand and just knock it out really quick. Maybe just a plain piece of linen and hand dye it after it's finished, like this. I also picked up this. I have been crazy about this since it's come out, and I keep putting it off, but I keep seeing the finishes on this part here. This is what I love in here. I really want to do that. I really love, and has anyone else noticed the entire, this is the actual sampler. All of those motifs were pulled from. Now, Blackbird Designs often get antique samplers, and then they pull different design areas from that sampler and create pin cushions or smaller pieces, or redesign and make a sampler from it. And that's what they've done here. But I love the entire thing. You know, I love Christ here. This pot is just perfect. I would definitely stitch that whole thing. But the whole pattern is not offered in here, and that's really a bummer. So, excited to have that. That's been a new purchase. And another one, a lot of you talk about ink circles. I have only done one ink circles, and it was Sea Stars, and it was years ago. And there's a sea serpent at the bottom of that piece, if you're familiar with it. I always called the piece Nessie for Loch Ness Monster. And I enjoyed stitching it. It was more of a Quaker motif style, but I don't own another one. So I ran across this one when it's again 123 was offering a sale on their ink circles pieces, and I picked this one up. There's only 3 colors: red, gold, metallic, and black. And they're Valdani thread. Well, the red and black are Valdani, and of course the gold is Krynic, and this girl's not about any Krynic. I'll use some treasure braid. And I ordered them, and 123 did not have the correct red, but had the correct black. So I ordered the black, and I had, this is it. And like I said, this is Valdani. And then I chose this, and it was called Dark Brick Red. I don't like it. It's not bright enough. I love these cute little thread balls, but I just don't like the color. It should be dried blood red. That's what it reminds me of. So, if you remember the sampler I did for Canaan earlier this year, I had several skeins. I remember Ingeborg laughing at me because I think I ordered like 20, hoping I would have enough because it was a monochrome sampler, and of course I had more than enough. It only took like 3 and I had 20. So I've sent some away in cards, and anyway, I still have some. So I decided to use DMC Variegated 115 along with this, and it's still showing with that lighting a little darker or brighter than it actually is. Let me hold it. That's more true here. So this is what I'm going to use. I think it's going to turn out perfect. And I'm going to do it on 32 count cream Belfast linen. Now when am I going to do all this? That is the question, that for which I have no answer. I bought a couple more of the Prairie Schoolers. Most of you know what I do for a living, so you understand why I need this. And then I just like this one. I love the little partridge. And I like the Old World Santas. So, because I like those Old World Santas, he speaks to me. This is an Attic Needlework McKenna piece. She had messaged me at some point and said, do you have these cheapest designs? And of course, with my son and son-in-law in the military and my other son-in-law prior military, I'm all about patriotism. So I got this one. And I recently made an order to my friend Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche. If you've not heard, she has some, in her last video she mentioned she had marked some patterns down, trying to move some older stock out to get room for new things, and she had some of Teresa's things marked down, and of course I popped over, and this is Love the Spring. In the springtime, the only pretty ring time, birds sing, hey ding, a ding a ding, sweet lovers love the spring. And that's this piece. And that was, if you remember in the original Gene Wilder version of Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, I think he was in the tunnel, the psychedelic tunnel in the boat in the Chocolate River, and he was singing this. That's what that reminds me of, is Gene Wilder. And then I picked up Eleanor Farrow, 1842. And I picked up the Queen of Hearts. She made some tarts all on a summer's day. And I really, really like this one because I love stamps. And it reminds me of just stamps, and I'm sure it's to mimic passport stamps, going by the name of it. But just think, you don't have to use the motifs that she uses here. You can pull them from other samplers and basically do the same thing. And if you remember, I painted a paper mache box a few weeks ago and Mod Podged some tissue paper that Teresa had sent in one of her packages over the bottom. And this is what I want to do, either that one or this one. This is another one I picked up, and this is Sampler Roundy that I want to put on top. And of course I'll change the colors to black. Let me get the paper mache box. Okay, this box. These are the pieces. So I'm thinking that I'll pull some of the motifs from these and maybe pull some from other pieces, patterns that I have, and make a round piece for the top of this. I originally really loved the design that Teresa has of the keys, but it is a more blocky, like I think it's rectangular or maybe a square. I think it's a square shaped design, and I thought, well, maybe I can, you know, redesign the keys to fit on top of this. But I like this idea better. So that was the purpose for buying both of these, was with the idea in mind to make a piece to go on top of this. speaking of Canaan, Clint and I went to the fair, our state fair yesterday, and I had entered 2 pieces again. I had planned originally this time last year of entering in my county fair as well, and it just totally slipped my mind, and so I didn't get them in time. I didn't even research when they needed to be in until too late. So I got them in the state fair, and I entered my Fragments of Time, which won a 2nd place ribbon, and I entered Canaan's Piece, which I won a 1st place on, and I'm very happy. I'm still hoping for a best of show at some point, work towards that, but at the same time, of all the pieces that I could have entered to win a blue ribbon, that one really touched my heart. And having friends go in and out of there, and they're sending you a message and saying, hey, I saw your piece, hey, you got a blue ribbon, that's great too, because I know that we're a big community here on Flosstube, but as far as when you look at your individual states, we're so spread out, but there's enough of us in this area that do Flosstube or stitch together, or we pass each other at stitches, that kind of thing, you know what I mean, that they know your pieces. And the reason I say that is our state, one of the rules is that you cannot have a name on the piece. They did not frown last year upon my initials, but they did not want a name. And because we are a state, I don't live less than an hour from my capital. They don't want any of the judges to know, hey, that's Jane Doe's piece, or, you know, that person is the best friend of Jane Doe and is going to make sure she gets a ribbon or best in show or whatever. So before I took Canaan's piece up, I had to take some masking tape and put across his name, and I put a couple layers across it so that it would be something that would easily come off of the glass, but at the same time would still allow me to enter the piece. And when I got there, someone had removed it, and I'm assuming that they did remove that tape after it had been judged. But anyway, to go in and see Canaan's piece right as you go in the door was a wonderful feeling. I was happy. I was happy with the winnings. Do you hear that? The wind's blowing. It's very rainy today. No, I haven't cut my hair. It's just really humid. So, there was no taming the beast today, so I rarely, if ever, let my hair part in the middle, but it's what my hair wanted to do today, and I just did not care to tame the beast. So I just let it do its thing, because it doesn't matter. I'm not going anywhere special. I'm just going to do a video for hundreds of women to see. But anyway, other than that, in the coming weeks, I don't know how often I'll be here. I'm not going to be here regularly. I know that. So I appreciate those who take the time out of their day to visit with me on this video. I will come back when I can. You can see my spirits are still high. I'm not down. I know everything that's going on is part of life. I have my father here with me now, and I'm going to enjoy him as much as I can. I can't imagine a world without him, but I'm not the first, nor will I be the last to go through such things. But as I said, he's here now. There's no time for mourning now. There's no time for getting upset. The time is in the future, and right now is the time for happiness and love and togetherness. And so that's where I will be. Not here with my Flosstube friends, but with my family. So like I said, I'll pop in every now and then. I have signed up for some more retreats in the coming weeks. I actually missed one. I think it was last weekend. It may have been the weekend before. It's been that way this year. There's been several that I've paid to go to, and between work and just different life situations, I've not been able to go, and it's okay. It's okay. The time for that's not now. I do have already 2 that I've signed up for next year, and I'm hoping things work out that I can attend. And if they can't, or the things don't, and I don't go, once again, it's okay. It just opens up a spot so that someone else can enjoy their stitch friends. So Thanks for the love and the prayers. Thanks for stopping by to visit with me. Thanks to the subscribers. And whether you're subscribed or not, thanks for visiting with me. And let me talk your ear off for a few minutes. Have a great weekend. Love to you all. I'll see you soon. Hugs and stitches. Bye-bye.